Greetings. Allow me to congratulate you on leading the armies of the Fifth Crusade to its decisive confrontation. Excellent. At last, a real achievement and a genuine chance of victory. I suppose I am. Being happy is not in my nature, but for the first time in years, I feel something akin to that emotion. It would be interesting to analyze what I experience when I see the criminal Auril Vorlesh defeated, the demons ousted, and the world wound closed at last. It promises to be an exceptional moment. And for me as well, Commander. For me as well. I am always ready.
At last, this irksome crusade is drawing to a close. All right. It hasn't been that irksome. All in all, it was a fine adventure, and the company was more than adequate. The most important outcome of today, of course, will be that I shall be immortalized in works of art depicting the Fifth Crusade as the most attractive crusader. Perhaps I should reconsider. No. Others can be afraid. But I know who our leader is and what she is capable of. I have never seen you fail to rise to a challenge, no matter how impossible. So leave me and my optimism be. We will win. If anyone should be afraid, it is the wretches inside Threshold. And to the victory feast, I trust?
You know what's crazy? I never thought this moment would come so soon. It feels like only yesterday we were trying to bring a blazing Canabras under control, and now we're standing on the cusp of our last battle, Threshold. So, this is the part where I admit to having treasonous thoughts. I couldn't sleep all night. I just kept thinking about bundling you off to someplace safe. But then it hit me. You're the commander of this whole crusade. Nothing's going to happen without you. See what kind of horrible mongrel I turn into when I'm in love? But enough about me. How are you feeling about all of this? Do you think we'll survive? Or will we go down in history as heroic lovers slain in a righteous battle? Fine. If you don't want to think about the worst that can happen, then neither will I. Just know that whatever happens, I'll be right there with you. And I won't let anybody steal this victory from you. I love you, Commander.
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Aurilu Vorlesh had never opened the world wound, I would never have ended up on Galarian. I would never have met Desna, or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good. This invasion has killed so many innocent people, but it has also led to my redemption. It means my freedom has been bought with thousands of innocent lives. But I will do everything in my power to help you close this abomination so that no one else has to die. It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the world wound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible. My road to redemption is not yet at an end. Don't forget that I am still a demon. I could go astray and return to my evil ways. Desna gave me a riddle to solve. What can I dream of? After we claim victory here, I will go and seek the answer to that riddle. And I won't give up until I defeat the abyss where it matters most, in my heart. I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
Hey! Well, are we gonna stick it to the demons one last time? I haven't had time to think about it. All of my thoughts are focused on the coming battle. But I think I'll stay here a while, help the world to return to a life of peace and catch any demons that aren't dead yet. And I don't want to leave all my friends either. When we have peace, there will finally be time to spend with everybody. And after that, well, stick a pin in a map. There are still many places in the world where people are in need of help. Wherever the road takes me, I'll find a way to put my blade to use. And this block of wood. Back at you, friend. So, are we going to crush some demons? It's time to show them the door once and for all!
Wide open!
Into the
Spirits
fray!
demand your blood! The world imprisoned! Surrender or else! So exciting!
The
Let's prove their logic is
Guide
lacking.
my blade.
Mind over muscle. There's something over there.
Well, I am helpful, am I not? I won't let you keep your today's sacrifice. Your pain
Did
is
you
my
see that?
pleasure.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
No mercy for the wicked.
Your performance is lacking. You are lacking.
Too late for apologies. With grace.
You won't survive me.
Break against our resolve.
Away, you rascal! Go for their hearts! stand against
wide
me.
open.
So exciting! With grace.
Can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why? Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life? This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the World Wound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand, but that wasn't my goal. Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge. And there is some truth to that. I had reason to take revenge. You didn't listen to my words in Iz, and you didn't find a way into the secret part of my laboratory. Otherwise, you would know what I'm talking about. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Arilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my daughter away from the din of the crowd and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss. A place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts, and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise. Because they saw her with a scroll she had secretly borrowed from my supply. She was trying to perform a forbidden ritual. Children, they're always drawn to the unknown. But for the Threshold hunters, this child playing with a magical trinket she stole from an adult was just as much of a criminal as the worst demon worshippers. I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my daughter. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment and had been sent on the path determined by the gods into the abyss. And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers, not against those who had murdered my child, not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny, death, and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my daughter to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys nor death itself could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind, by obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free. And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul and into this world. I opened the world wound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my daughter's soul and give her a new birth, one that would prevent anything from ever harming her again. And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my daughter's soul, like the soil accepts a seed. I thought that I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of her soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect her forever, that I could tear her away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
I refuse to accept their statement. Your time is...
See that? Endure this!
The spirits demand your blood! I'll dissect your You are today's
To
sacrifice!
the fray!
Roto!
I, Arilu Vorlesh, the one you call the betrayer, have nothing to offer you but death. Karamzadeh, I will give you the chance to avenge your death. Rise.
Curse you! Mortal scum! You have struck ice into my heart! I will devour your souls to loosen its freezing grip!